So how that game ended yesterday for the Los Angeles Lakers against the Chicago Bulls was absolutely ridiculous. On one end, you have Austin Reeves, who drives to the basket in a clutch moment, hits that shot, but then on the other end of it, you have the Chicago Bulls, who take a shot in which you're probably going to hit once if you shoot it 100 times, and they hit the half-court shot to ultimately win the game. And that was absolutely brutal for the Los Angeles Lakers, because not only do you lose on a half-court shot, but you're up 18 points at one point in that fourth quarter. You somehow played such bad basketball that you were not able to win being up by 18 points in the fourth quarter. But today, we're going to talk about what the Lakers kind of did that ultimately led to them losing this game. Plus, this isn't the first game where the Lakers have kind of struggled. Against the Pacers, they're up by 17 points, and they barely won by LeBron James basically putting a shot up in which he barely tipped it in. It's a third of a second left. And instead of being 1-5 in your last 6 games, you'd be 0-6. So the Lakers have been struggling over the past couple of games, and today we're going to talk about it. The Bulls game, you get really unfortunate where they hit a half-court shot, but there was also a moment. When I watched the tape and I really analyzed what kind of happened in those 12 seconds with LeBron James, right away, you can blame LeBron, but you can also kind of figure out what LeBron was thinking, and I don't hold this against LeBron James, to be honest with you. I think there were some issues first and foremost when you watch this play. So LeBron James obviously goes out to Vucevic, who passes the ball to Williams, and of course Williams ends up hitting the three, but there's a moment before LeBron actually goes out to Vucevic that I think we need to talk about a little bit. So one of the things you got to realize is Lakers are playing some sort of switch defense concept. And you can tell because Austin Reeves and Dorian Finney-Smith are talking before the ball actually gets inbounded. And they're communicating how they're going to switch, exactly what's going to happen, who takes which guy. And as soon as you see the defender ends up going one way, you're going to quickly see that Dorian Finney-Smith goes with him. And then at the same time, you're going to get another screen where Dorian Finney-Smith's going to end up getting screened, and Vanderbilt's going to actually end up switching to Dorian Finney-Smith's guy. And instead of switching, for some reason, Dorian Finney-Smith and Vando both end up on the same guy. To me, Finney-Smith should have switched right here. But he doesn't for some reason. Now, the guy he does not switch on also ends up screening Austin Reeves. So now you have some confusion because the screen's happening and Dorian Finney-Smith's not even turned around to see that screen actually happening. So when Vucevic screens Reeves, a switch theoretically should have happened where Dorian Finney-Smith and Reeves end up switching. But Reeves isn't even 100% sure if Dorian Finney-Smith has seen his man kind of come around. So now you have this moment where these guys are a little lost. So LeBron James rotates and kind of goes towards Vucevic, who I think would potentially hit that shot right there, who ends up passing it to Williams, right, that one extra pass, and Williams ends up hitting the three. So however you look at it, you can blame LeBron. I wouldn't necessarily blame LeBron. Even then, LeBron does a pretty good job actually contesting Williams, as he kind of rotates back towards him. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you want to blame Dorian Finney-Smith for not making the proper switch initially and kind of confusing all the other guys, right? This generally happens when one guy does not do their job. It's going to impact every single other guy, especially when you're playing rotating defense, when you're switching, right, playing switch concept. So to me, one of the things you got to realize right away is it's not as simple as, hey, LeBron's guy scored and it's LeBron James's fault. Sometimes there's other coaching elements on top of it that I think sometimes you got to point out. Now with that, obviously LeBron's guy hits his shot. LeBron James gets the ball out of bounds and he's going to inbound the ball. To me, there's no question about this play. LeBron James has to do a better job, right? You put this moment right here on LeBron. In fact, you can make the argument this is the moment that the Lakers lost this game, right? To me, if LeBron James just properly inbounds the ball, the Lakers are winning this game against the Bulls. But because of that play right there, I would make the argument the Lakers lost on that play right there specifically. And that's 100% on LeBron James. There's no questions asked. He deserves the criticism for this one. But there's also other moments that, kind of made me question. And LeBron James specifically, there's two moments that I want to show you guys. The first made absolutely no sense to me. It's one of those moments where you got to play defense. You got to buy in. You got to run down the court. There was a moment in which LeBron felt that he ended up getting fouled. Understandably, it looks like a foul to me. But LeBron James stays back and he starts, saying to the ref, hey, I got hit, essentially, right? And with that, the Bulls run downfield and they essentially hit a three-pointer. And look at the difference in this game, right? You're up by 7 and now you're only up by 4. That's massive, right? You have to be able to, complaining is not going to do anything at that point, right? Get back down there and don't let them be in a 5-on-4 situation, which is what they were in, and essentially get that 3-point shot because that's a huge flip in the game. to me, LeBron James has to do a better job there, right? You just got to be more, just more aware. And I know LeBron James is aware. He's one of the smartest players in the NBA. He doesn't have to take my advice on being aware, but be aware, man. Get downfield and potentially play some defense. But there was another moment, and this is a moment that I think leads to the broader issue with the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think this is why the Lakers have really been struggling these past couple of games. There was a moment with like 7-8 minutes left in the game in which Luka ends up driving and he kicks it out to LeBron James. LeBron James has like 5 to 6 feet of space. He has a wide open shot, and for some reason he hesitates. And then he tries to drive it, and then he kicks it out to Jackson Hayes. Now keep in mind, the shot clock's going down. You don't have a lot of time. Jackson Hayes is actually leaving the paint area, right? So you're kicking it out to Jackson Hayes. He's not going to shoot a shot. That doesn't make sense. To me, LeBron James hesitating right there when he was wide open is a huge issue right now with the Lakers. And it's not just LeBron. I'm not nitpicking towards LeBron, right? But when LeBron James does what he does, you see that the final shot is a bad shot. Austin Reeves really doesn't have a good shot. Barely hits the backboard. It's a wasted possession, in my opinion, right then and there. But here's the thing with those plays right there, right? Here's the issue with LeBron James hesitating a little bit. It's not just LeBron James that's kind of doing this. We're seeing this happen with some of these other guys as well. There was a play in which the Lakers designed. They designed a play. They wanted Luka to get the ball down low, right? They wanted him to play some post game. And they wanted Luka to either try to score. They felt they had a mismatch or kick it out. Now, just kind of backing it up a little bit. If you guys don't know this, there's multiple offenses in the NBA, right? You got the triangle offense. You got the 5-out motion offense. You have what the Lakers love to run, which is going to essentially be pick and roll, penetrate, and kick, right? And you got to have guys that kind of rotate. You got to space the floor a little bit. And that's the general offense a lot of NBA teams run. But the important context of this offense is your guys have to be able to shoot, and they have to be able to hit their shots. Because the point of the offense is you get LeBron, you get Luka, you get these guys to drive, penetrate, force the double team, and then you kick the ball out to Dorian Finney-Smith. You kick the ball out to LeBron. So when LeBron James hesitates on a wide open shot, your offense is essentially designed for you to create those open shots. And LeBron's open, you got to hit that shot. There's a play in which Luka ends up getting the ball down low, and he ends up getting the ball to Dorian Finney-Smith, who, to me, he could have taken that shot, right? And I know Dorian Finney-Smith, he's a good three-point shooter. He's not great, but I think he could have hit that shot had he taken that shot. He hesitates a little bit, and then you see from there the offense just doesn't flow. You're kind of hurrying it up at that point. LeBron takes a bad shot. You have to be able to hit wide open shots when you're open, and right now the Lakers just aren't doing that. They're not hitting their open shots. We're seeing Luka drive and penetrate and kick out to guys, and they're not scoring their open shots. Yesterday against the Bulls, the biggest issue with the Lakers was the fact that they're 1 of 9 from the three-point line. 1 of 9, you can't have that happen. And then on the other end, in the fourth quarter specifically, the Lakers go 1 of 9 from three-point. The Bulls go 11 of 14 from the three-point in the fourth quarter. You can't have that happen where the other team is hitting 11 of their 14 threes and you're hitting 1 of your 9 threes. And it's not like they're bad three-point shots, right? Like, Austin Reeves is doing a phenomenal job penetrating and kicking. LeBron, even to a point, is doing a good job penetrating and kicking. But what's happening right now is guys are not hitting their open shots. And it's leading to the Lakers struggling. And the Lakers, at the same time, have some bad possessions where they're playing one-on-one ball, right? They're not, in my opinion, doing what they should be doing, right? Penetrating, kicking to the open shot, taking those open shots. The Lakers have issues right now on the offensive side. And it's not just offense. They're struggling in different games on defense. Being up 18 points against the Bulls, to allow that lead to be wiped out in one quarter, that's unacceptable. Against the Pacers, you're up 17 points. And I know the Lakers ended up beating the Pacers because LeBron tipped it in. But think about this. Imagine if the Lakers up 17 points against the Pacers. Imagine if Luka, as he takes that final shot that LeBron tips in, imagine if Luka took 1/3 of a second longer, right? Maybe he double clutches it or he takes, an extra step. And LeBron isn't able to tip it in because the time runs out. Luka missed the shot, right? I think sometimes people overlook that a little bit. That Pacers game could have easily been a loss as well. The Lakers could have been 0-6 in their last 6 games. To me, you have to do a better job. And it's the second half where the Lakers are really starting to struggle. against the Magic. The Lakers started the third quarter up 4 or 5 points. By the time the third quarter ended, they're down, I think, 14 or 15 points. You can't have those type of swings happen. And I think one of the issues that's happening right now is the Lakers haven't really figured out the rotations. You know, they'll take Jackson Hayes out and they'll end up going forward with the small ball lineup. And if they keep Jackson Hayes in, they'll maybe have Luka in and they do well and they score points. And then Luka comes off and then they start struggling again. The Lakers haven't really figured out their rotations. You know, Jackson Hayes played 32 minutes yesterday. I think he played like 17 minutes the night before, right? To me, the Lakers have to figure it out. They just have to be a little bit more efficient. They have to be able to hit their shots. And, you know, yesterday they also tried something different, which was they gave Jordan Goodwin less minutes and they upped Dalton Knecht's minutes. Knecht's a rhythm shooter, right? He's going to go game by game. Sometimes it could even be like a 5-game stretch. I think the Lakers have to get Dalton Knecht involved more. I think he has so much upside. He has so much potential. And he's a really damn good rookie. And I think as you go forward, the more minutes this guy has, the better he'll ultimately end up being. There's just moments where you think like the Lakers have to figure it out. They almost have too many players that can kind of play. And they don't have the right combination, right? Or at least they haven't figured it out yet. So hopefully the Lakers are able to figure it out. They don't play today. They have a game tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this film breakdown. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. I will definitely try to do more film breakdowns on this channel. My goal right now is at least one film breakdown every single week. Let me know what you guys think, man. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.